Sensational Sundays with your girl Elise on Flashpoint Radio. Come, let's talk, let's hang, let's just jam on Sunday, 3 p.m. Flashpoint Radio.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Sensational Sunday, and today we are talking healthcare. Now, coming up on the 3rd to the 9th of November, there's going to be a lot of celebration all over the world, not just in Cayman Islands. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be radiology.
World Radiology Day.
Well, it's a
Yes.
whole week of activity, and certainly we recognize the importance of these medical personnel in our daily lives because I'm sure at some point or another we would have needed to do an X-ray, an ultrasound, an MRI, a CT, or some sort of imaging to assist your doctor to find out what's going on with the body. Now, today I'm joined by persons who are involved in this wonderful, noble profession, including myself. That's a secret, guys. Okay, so today I am joined by two lovely ladies that they're going to tell me, they first introduce themselves and tell me why they would have decided to go into the imaging profession and give us a little idea of what this entails.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So the name is Janine. I am a radiographer. I've been a radiographer since 2011. You
You have
guys
to
can
slow
count.
down. Radio. It sounds like you work on the
Radiographer.
radio.
Well, we are on the radio.
Today.
Radio is today. But
Yes.
no, that's not what this profession is about. I'm a radiographer, and we do the imaging of the body.
Okay, my name is Asharah. I've been a radiographer for almost 20 years now. Yes,
You
um,
must love this thing.
I started in 2005, believe it or not. Yes, yes. I love the profession. There is diversity. Um, we are an important arm in the medical field, and there's so much that can be done, and it's a constantly evolving, dynamic modality that we use in diagnostic imaging. Yeah.
Well, the program Sensational Sunday, the aim is always to inspire, educate, and inform individuals who tune in, who listen. And of course, I must congratulate you for sticking to a profession for 20 years.
Yeah.
You must love taking photographs
Well,
of others.
a little bit more than that. I'm not a very good photographer.
Yes, but you mentioned how important. Tell me, in your experience, after 20 years being immersed in a profession, how has it impacted your life and how you see life, how you view life?
Well, radiology has become my identity, right? When somebody asks, "Who are you? What do you do?" That's one of the first things I say. I'm a radiographer, right? Um, Practicing, especially here in the Cayman Islands, where I'm in the hospital setting, we do a lot of emergency radiology, and what I've gotten to appreciate is that the doctors depend on us to find the answers that they need so that they can do their job in helping the patient. So I have valued my contribution in assisting so many persons to get their healing and to get to where they need to be. And I'm really, really proud to be a radiographer.
Wonderful. And Janine, why did you choose radiography to spend how many hours per day? Like more than 8 hours, more than your working hours you spend in the profession. Why?
Um, I actually came across it through a friend, someone who already was working in the profession. I originally wanted to become a doctor, but truth be told, I wasn't getting the grades as I wanted to do medicine. And in order for me to also, I guess, go into that profession with the non-government, from the non-government area, I would have had to pay like 1.5 million for my school fee just to
Say the currency.
1.5 million Jamaican dollars because I would have done it at UA.
Yes.
And my parents wouldn't have had the money at the time to do something like that, or to put me through med school that way.
Yes.
So I was always interested in the medical field, the medical aspect. So what this time did, I went exploring other areas or other avenues of the medical field. Unfortunately, I didn't want to follow in my mom's footsteps. She does pharmacy. And I thought that nursing would have been too much for me. But I also wanted something.
This is not too much.
I wanted. It is a whole lot.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yes.
But it's
Not
it
so
is
hands-on with the patient.
It is. But
It's
that's
a-
the part that
it's
I
a
love.
hybrid between patient care and technology. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm more strong on the patient care part because I actually love interacting and caring for patients. So I am more strong on that aspect of it. And I wanted something that I would have been able to interact with my patients more. So the pharmacy aspects, I know I would have been behind the desk and looking at the patient, and I didn't think that that's what I wanted. So I opted for something more. A friend, like I said to me that there is this aspect of medical field as well that is a little bit persons don't really look into it, and he told me to consider it, and I did. He showed me what it was about. He introduced me to other radiographers at the time as well, and I found it very interesting. And at the time as well, I was also somewhat getting into photography itself. So I thought that this being photography in the medical field, it would have.
Well, whatever the reasons are, you find yourself doing this wonderful profession, you recognize how important you are in the field of medicine for the patients.
Yes.
The patients depend on you to give quality diagnostic images. Now, talk to us about why you feel it's important for us to have a whole week of celebration. One, why is it important for persons out there to know about you wonderful people?
Well, the whole week of celebration, I would say that this profession in and of itself is one that is really underrated. A lot of people don't really see the importance of it, and they will look and think that all we basically do is just press buttons and take pictures. But there's a whole lot that goes behind that aspect of it.
Yes.
And it would be really good for persons to be more aware of what the profession entails, and the fact that this is something that is actually needed, because this is a profession that you can't do without. It is something that helps in every step of the way for a patient, so for the doctors to first basically find out what is wrong with the patient, and then to take the next step to care for the patient, and for them to also observe what it is to do following up after the care as well. So it is something that is really, really important, that I think so. Yeah.
So, what activities do we expect to be engaged in during this week? Talk to us when it starts and what we should expect to see and how we can participate. And members of the public, how can we raise awareness or become aware of this profession?
Okay, so for the Cayman chapter of
Yes.
the World Radiology Week. We will be celebrating from November 3rd, which is Sunday, to November 9th, which is Saturday, right? We have arranged a few activities for that week. We know that we cannot start the week without making sure that God is a part of it. So we'll be having our church service at Calvary Baptist on November 3rd, and that's going to be from 11 to 12. That will be November 3rd. We're going to have a CME, which is continuing medical education, which is geared for radiographers and other medical professionals as well. And that will be at the HSA at the hospital grounds, and that will be on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Also on Thursday, we will be having.
We're doing another radio program as well with another radio station. That will be at Praise 87. So persons can also listen to that one as well. Should they miss this one?
And this one is always going to be accessible. You can rewind, you can fast forward, you can play, you can share, you can subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
And it will always be present. Okay.
And yes, we'll have to make sure that
and then
Friday,
Friday,
which is World Radiography Day, because that will be November 8th, and we celebrate World Radiography Day on November 8th to commemorate the day that X-rays were discovered. So, and for that day at HSA, we will be having an open day. We will allow persons from the public to see some of the things that we offer in the radiology field, and get to meet some of the radiographers and get to see some images and a lot of other little treats and surprises will be there. Yes, and on Saturday in the evening we will close off the celebration with a social event for the radiographers as well. So we have a packed week ahead.
Sounds like lots of fun and excitement. If you are in the Cayman Islands, you can pick which event. It can be at the open day. And if you are in the field, in the profession, I believe it's a right time for you to also participate. Come to the CNE.
Yes, definitely.
And support the team and help to build this wonderful profession. I must ask you, you have been here doing this for 20 years. How has the field evolved? How has it changed? Has it changed you, or the technology has improved and you have to move with it, you have to switch? Tell us.
There has been leaps and bounds with changes in the radiology field. I started when we were using films, where you have to hold up the film to the light, right? And if you don't have a light source, you can't see what's on the film, right? But now we have gone completely digital, and you're able to. So with the film processing, you have to do the image, and then you have to develop the film, just like regular photography. So you won't see what's happening until the film is developed, and that usually takes about a few minutes. But now we're at the digital stage now, where we can instantly see the images within seconds of you taking the image, and that has been a game changer. So we're able to do more, and with the digital enhancements that are available, we can see more from our images, from X-rays to ultrasound to CT scans, MRI. There's nuclear medicine as well. And that is one of the reasons why we'll have to use a full week to celebrate the profession, because there's a vast amount of modalities, arms of radiology that we that we need to showcase and we need to highlight and we need to get the information out so that more people can be aware. Yes, lots of changes, and it has challenged me personally to grow with the profession as well. I'm I know that me personally, when I'm able now to do more. When I started, I was practicing just we call it basic radiography because it's the starting point where we do X-rays mainly. But now I'm doing CT scans, mammograms, ultrasounds, and I need to get into the MRI field as well.
Tell me, how can your brain just embrace so much information? You're talking about cross-sectional imaging, you're talking about breast, you're talking about ultrasound. I mean,
It's by the grace of God.
by the grace of God.
Yes, yes. My faith plays a very important role in the way that I operate, in the way that I care for my patients, in the way that I make sure that I give quality work and information to everyone. So I make sure that God guides me, and He's the one that allows me to remember all of that I need to remember, because it really and truly it's a lot of information that we have to keep in the back of our mind when we
it's reassuring that when you go to a health facility, when you're worried about your health, you want to know that the persons behind the scenes, the persons that are part of the team that gets you well, or figure out what's wrong with you, care.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, it's one thing to just stamp and go and press a machine, but to care about the patient, that is crucial and that is important. Now, Janine, tell us about the other members of the team, the radiology team, that makes this machine just roll so smoothly.
Well, starting off with, at the top, you would have the radiologists. They are the doctors in the profession or in the field that actually read the images. So us as the radiographers, sonographers, we're the ones that actually take the images and produce them, and they will now sit, analyze, and go through, and then make a report to inform the doctor who is caring for the patient. So you have radiologists, you have a radiographer, usually have a nurse as well, nursing staff, and you will also have other auxiliary staff members. You have the porters, persons who help to move the patients around for us and everything. And of course, as well, you also have the auxiliary staff, because they too would also play a part in the department to help to clean, make sure that the environment in and of itself is in its pristine conditions, that we can actually take care of the patient. Registration officers too, because you have to register the patient. And I guess you can say as well, it depends on the level as well, because you also have senior radiographers or team leaders. At the hospital, we have team leaders, so they're persons who are in charge of the flow of the operation of the program or the department and everything. We have the manager as well, and yep. I believe that's
Oh, well, that's a whole mouthful. And I thank you so much for joining us right here at Flashpoint on this episode of Sensational Sunday, where we have brought some imaging information to the population. No matter where you are, any nook, any cranny, Jamaica, Cayman, if you're in the US or Canada, the day is still the same. November 8th is celebrated worldwide.
Yes.
Yes. So be a part of the celebration, be a part of the information.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Açai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Açai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Açai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Of course, we are joined by one of our sponsors here at Sensational Sunday. I'm sure you've been listening, you've been viewing the programs, and you would have heard the ad, Açai Ultrasound Imaging. And it's, of course, a special week of celebration, and it's prudent for us to invite, of course, the man behind Açai Ultrasound. Welcome to Sensational Sunday. This is your second time. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Now, you have been in the profession for how long?
You want to date me?
No.
Let me date myself. So I, since 1996, so that's 20, what years now? That's 26, 14 plus 24, 28.
Is it church?
21. The math is messing up. But it's 20 odd years, almost like a little bit more than you. With your last case. Right. So I've been in the profession for over 20 years. I started out as a grade counter. And for some reason, I happened to land myself in the Cayman Islands in 2000. And since then, well, I worked with a private facilities for 15 years. And then the craziness hit me, and I decided that it was time for me to go rogue. So I started this site in officially the 12th of October 2015. So next year will be the 10th anniversary of the site.
Oh, congratulations to you. And you have taken your experience and your expertise on an entrepreneurial level. And of course, that is certainly admirable. So, I must ask this question. How has the profession changed you and your perception of life?
Okay, that's a good question. So I started out in basement. Right? As a matter of fact, I live in North Carolina, but I heard that there was this course being offered for darkroom technicians at School of Medical Radiation Technology.
And you have to break that down, because our guest before told us about film.
Yes.
And for the younger generation, when we used to have our negative, and you have to go in the dark room
Yes.
and develop it, and then you have the image. Yes. So,
I've had the hopper open to the light many times. Didn't tell anybody. Right? We're not supposed to expose that to light at all, but it happens sometimes. However, yeah, so darkroom technician, that was a crucial part of our profession at the time. In that, as the last guest mentioned, now we are digital and we have all those chemicals, smelly chemicals that we used to use, we need them no more. So at the time, that's a course that was being offered, and I said to myself, why not? I mean, I didn't have an official training or university education at the time. I said, let me try out this thing. So I went, and when I was interviewed, I was advised to do radiography. And started out, after I left SMRT, I started out at Nuttall Hospital, stayed there until 2000. Funny enough, in coming up to 1999 Y2K, I got a call from Iraq from a radiographer who asked me if I was willing to do a locum in Iraq for 3 weeks. It was a scary thought in that I would be on my own for this period of time. I've been doing everything from, by then I had done the ultrasound course.
right.
So I ended up with a grant in 1999, 2000. Went pretty well I was offered a position at the government hospital. Excited. I was excited about that. When I converted the currencies at the time, I was like, this is good. So I did that, went back to Jamaica, and I started to tie up my loose ends to come back to this position at the government hospital, only to find out that somebody else had gotten the position, so
Wow.
my hopes were dashed. Um, there was a contingency though, in that while I was in the Grand, I heard about a person who was opening a private facility in Grand Cayman. And I was introduced to the person, and the person advised me to send an application in. Funny enough, like literally a couple of weeks after I was refused the position at the government hospital, I got a call from the private facility. Mr. Minister, we need you like yesterday. And so I came, the rest is history. Um, it has changed me in the sense that I've seen things grow. It's like I've seen the development of the modality in many, many ways. And it's amazing. For me personally, I think radiography has saved my life, and that's a story. We this is very important to me. And so when I scan my patients, I'm scanning as if I'm scanning myself, you know, because in 2012, I literally heard a voice telling me to scan myself, and I forgot. I just kept forgetting. But one Wednesday morning, I remembered, and I stood by the machine and I took the ultrasound probe, put it on my tummy, and I saw something. Saw mass. I wasn't convincing enough to the radiologist at the time. He was like, "Curtis, you can't be diagnosing yourself." But it turned out that it was something. I had 4 surgeries, and I'm fine. I'm fine. But this facility, this modality means so much to me that when my patient is there at the table, I'm treating the patient as if I'm treating myself, as I'm scaring myself.
That is important when you experience it yourself. It's not every day that you get up, have trust in someone, you go to the room. I don't know you from Adams. You say, take off your clothes and lie on the bed. You would have left yourself on you would have carved out this time, you're a busy day, and you have come and put trust in someone to image you. And certainly, if you had not listened to that voice and take a look yourself, you don't know what would have happened. And that is how important imaging is in terms of your well-being. Because it's all good and well to say, I'm not feeling too well, but and even though October was celebrated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and imaging is crucial in the treatment of individuals, in the diagnosis, so that they can get the treatment on time when they need it. So I appreciate the fact that you could actually share your experience and recognize how important imaging is.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, being in the private sector, there's an added burden on the practitioners in the private sector, in the sense that, let us say, let's create a scenario. At 9 o'clock in the night, we get a call from a facility that has a patient cardiac appendicitis. Okay, so patient comes in. The trust that we have to develop with these private practitioners is crucial. And so and then based on the years of experience and based on what we know, we give an opinion as to what's happening. Then this patient may end up in surgery the very same night. A radiologist might not be around to confirm or disagree with what we say, but usually the radiologists will agree with our assessment. And so this is very important. We have to be right. I mean, nobody's right all the time, but we have to be. We have to be right. So that's an important thing. And private sector, again, patient care, our patient care is so important. It's so important in every area of the field, but particularly in the private sector, in that we miss something or we have a little look on our face. Patient might go back and complain to their doctor that he wasn't looking healthy, or he may be nervous and stuff. So we have to try and make that patient so comfortable at all times, and we also have to be very smart. We have to be like poker, in that the face must not display what we're seeing, and it's hard sometimes when you're like scanning someone that like a friend, and this is something that might be challenging, and you have to sort of keep the conversation going, but keep that poker face so that they don't suspect that you might be. Why is he measuring that thing so many times? So we have a very serious role as radiographers in this profession, and I'm very happy that I chose this.
Well, congratulations for, when you mentioned that the job that you were promised or the job that you are applied for, it was disappointing for you when you did not receive that job. But, in life, we recognize that your situation um, is tailored for you in a different way. That direction that you are to go in, not everyone needs to go down that road. There's
Right.
another plan that exists for you, and certainly you have been contributing to the community right in the Cayman Islands. And I encourage you to continue to do the very best that you can. How do you see imaging in the future? When you look through the lens and consider all that has happened since you joined in 1996, from the films and the dark room and all that involved, I'm asking you now to look to the future and say, what do you think? AI has come on board.
That was on the tip of my tongue. That was on the tip of my tongue. So AI is what it is. And I've been paying a little bit of attention to the development of AI and the competition between the US and China. And it is speculated that sooner or later you'll be able to sit in a chair just like this, or with some sort of AI connection to it, it will be able to diagnose your issue even in the first cell, the very first cell that might be dividing in a funny sort of way. It will be able to detect it and get rid of it immediately. AI will be so specific that an MRI will be like obsolete, and an ultrasound obsolete, and an X-ray obsolete. This thing will be
It's
able
hard
to.
to think of those things
Yes,
in
now
obsolete.
we don't want to
Because,
that.
I mean, then what would happen to the professionals
Right, but-
that are here? Yes, yes.
Precisely. But
Yes.
like, if you look at it, when we were in this thing, cell phones were a rarity,
Yes.
and everybody has a
Yes.
computer in their hand.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
AI is the next thing, and then who to tell what's going to come after AI?
yes.
You know, so we just have to be ready for the change, and just keep ourselves up to date with technology. That's a key part of our profession.
And I want you to address the youth, the generations that are coming. And, they are in IT, they are in all different sorts, and sometimes they're not unsure of where to turn. You have been doing this for such a long time, and you said you didn't plan to. But someone is watching the program today. They might be in Cayman or Canada or US, and they're at that point, and they have never really heard of radiography or any sort of imaging. But you want to encourage them to join this wonderful team of professionals that add value to communities, to life, to individuals. And so I want to just speak to someone and encourage them
Absolutely.
to make that choice.
So let's start locally. So we're having radio for this week, and this is an opportunity for all you young people to get involved in the celebrations of this week. It's educational, and it just may encourage us to think in this direction as far as a profession is concerned. It is rewarding, it is challenging, it's not boring at any time. And so I would say if you want a career that is fulfilling, this is the area. And you have so many options. I just mentioned in the last, you have a wide range of modalities. So I would encourage you to at least get an idea. Come to our celebration this week at HSA. And internationally speaking, if this Radiographers Week is an international event, so I'm sure in your community, in your town, in your state, in your parish, there is going to be an event in which you can be educated as far as what this field has to offer you.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the listeners and the viewers for joining us on this episode of Sensational Sunday. It was an absolute pleasure. I want to thank you so much for being a guest right here, and thank you for continuing to be a part of Flashpoint. And as usual, I encourage you to stay tuned for more interesting and exciting and motivational episodes of Sensational Sunday. And before I go,
Before you go, I just want to take this opportunity to inform the yes, I want to take this opportunity to inform the residents of Savannah and that surrounding area that Açai will be coming there shortly. So, in addition to ultrasound, which is what we have been focusing on, we'll be introducing X-rays as well, and we have plans for mammography sooner or later. So, it's going to be in Savannah, and it's going to be soon.
coming soon, so listen out. You'll hear more, and of course, Sensational Sunday and Flashpoint will be sharing that news as we draw nearer to the opening of the site in Savannah. So have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Sensational Sunday, and I'm your girl, Elise. Thank you for joining me on set today, and we look forward. Maybe we'll be able to share what's happening during the week.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.